Good evening, hello and welcome. You're watching the Super Saturday debate here on CNN News 18 with me, Poonam Burde. There is no end to political war over the Manipur crisis. After the disruption in the parliament, opposition parties have dispatched 20 of their members of parliament to Manipur to assess the ground situation. These MPs from the I.N.D.I.A alliance are currently on a two-day visit to the violence-hit state. They're meeting with victims in relief camps. The opposition has alleged that Prime Minister Modi's inaction is to be blamed for the crisis in the state. The BJP countered, accusing the opposition MPs of using this sensitive issue as a photo opportunity. It's nothing but political tourism, is what Union Minister Anurag Thakur came out and said. Remember, as the CBI takes over the case, it is essential for all to ensure a fair and impartial investigation, not just in the viral video case, but in all of the violence cases that we have seen in the state over the last 3 months. The situation demands unity, it demands empathy and not political posturing. No political party should exploit this tragedy for their political gain. That's the ideal situation. But is that what we're going to be seeing? Is that something that we can expect out of our parliamentarians? Now, it's crucial for all political parties to set aside their politics and prioritize peace and prioritize justice. But here's a look at what exactly transpired today.
Over 150 people dead, hundreds injured, and thousands displaced. Manipur remains on the edge. The horrifying video of 2 women being paraded naked on the streets of Imphal has sent shivers across the nation. From Sansad to Sadak, people are up in arms, protesting against this barbarity and demanding the arrest of those responsible for such heinous acts. Following the national outrage, the CBI has taken over the case and registered an FIR. However, the opposition is still not convinced and continues to raise concerns. A delegation of 20 MPs from the newly formed alliance team I.N.D.I.A is visiting a relief camp in Manipur. The women's delegation from the opposition parties also met with rape victims, alleging that Prime Minister Modi allowed Manipur to burn.
If because of us, I would like to tell my friends in the BJP, if because of us, if they are being photographed, nothing wrong. Because BJP is trying to hide what has happened in Manipur.
भाजपा के राजनीति के कारण एक आग लग गया है। उस आग को हम कैसे कम कर सके, लोगों के घाव पर कैसे मरहम लगा सके, लोगों की बात कैसे सुन सके, उसी उद्देश्य से हम आए।
Upping the attack on the India bloc, union ministers accused the opposition of politicizing this sensitive matter.
19 सदस्यों को मणिपुर के बाद कलकत्ता लाएंगे। क्या राजस्थान में प्रतिदिन महिलाओं के साथ दुष्कर्म होता है, गैंग रेप किए जाते हैं? क्या कांग्रेस को राजस्थान और बंगाल की महिलाओं में उनकी और कोई सहानुभूति नहीं है?
राजनीति नहीं करनी चाहिए। हम चर्चा के लिए तैयार हैं। ऑल पार्टी मीटिंग में यही तय हुआ था कि आप चर्चा कराइए। हमने चर्चा के लिए तैयारी के हिसाब से राजनाथ सिंह जी ने बता दिया, गृह मंत्री जी ने बता दिया, फिर भी वो राजनीति कर रहे हैं।
In the wake of the horrifying incidents, it is crucial for all the parties to set aside politics and prioritize justice. The situation demands unity and empathy, not political posturing. Is politics preceding justice in the case of Manipur? Bureau Report, CNN News 18.
Breaking inputs now coming in from the state of Manipur. Sushmita Dev, member of parliament of the TMC, who is on ground there visiting the state, meeting with relief victims, has spoken exclusively with CNN News 18's Komalika Sen-Gupta. She's narrated what exactly transpired, the kind of conversations that she's had with the victims that she's met, even expressing concern, stating that the chief minister did not take any action against the police who handed over the victims in the viral video to the mob. Listen in.
Shmita, you have been traveling to relief camps. Specifically, you have spoken to the women and the children, and you have spoken to the victims of they who were naked, paraded naked. What did they say to you?
First of all, it's crystal clear that there are many more such victims. They are not the only ones. Number two, it was heartbreaking to hear her version. And she is deeply shocked by the fact that all of this happened to her in front of the police. And she categorically said that if The Chief Minister of Manipur is the Home Minister of Manipur. Till today, he has taken no action to find out who are these police officers. Because unless there's action on police, no one will trust the police again. So it made a lot of sense to me, and there is a lot of discontent with the way things are being handled by the state government. That is on both sides. We've assured her that we'll keep the pressure on the state government and the central government that justice should be done. But it is heartbreaking because she said her brother and husband were also killed by the mob and the police kept standing. When a young girl says that when I see a police personnel now in a uniform, I feel scared, or it brings back those memories, that's not a good thing for any state and its law and order
Given to
situation.
CBI.
You see, CBI, it doesn't take the CBI for a chief minister to say who are these officers in uniform who watched a rape happen, who watched a mob killing happen and did not intervene. You don't need the CBI for that. A chief minister can do that. That's where her grievance is. And CBI has come and arrested the man who took the video, right? And they flashed it all over the media. You know what is the message to Manipur? What the youngsters of Manipur are telling me? Saying Amit Shah is trying to scare us. They don't take videos. They said every time there's a crime in Manipur against any community, we will take a video, and the day the internet is started, we'll release each one. This is the impression they have about. You tell me, I may not know what happened, you may not know what happened till that video comes out. But are you telling me the Home Minister of India had no intelligence report or had no ground report from here? He knew. He should have given CBI through 2 months back. Thank you.
That was Sushmita Dev, one of the members of parliament that is in Manipur there. Let me open this up. What exactly is transpiring in Manipur? Is politics taking precedence over peace and justice? And who is responsible for that? Joining me on this broadcast, spokesperson of the BJP, I.N.D.I.A Singh, spokesperson of the Congress, Meeta Chakrabarti, will be joining us shortly, and senior journalist Sanjeev Srivastav joins me as well. But let me begin by asking you, I.N.D.I.A Singh, there are members of parliament that have gone to the state of Manipur. They want to speak to the victims. They're free to do so, aren't they? Why then raise questions about whether this is political tourism or if this is only about photo opportunities? They're talking to people there. They're well within their rights to do so.
My Ram to everyone, and you're absolutely correct. It is a free country. It's a democratic country, and anybody can go anywhere till that particular state or particular area allows. And they are doing whatever they are doing in the limitation of the situation and laws. So definitely they can go. But the thing is, when we saw the visuals, they were so warmly welcomed there. So warmly welcomed there. We know it very well. अगर आप किसी के घर दुख में जाते हैं, हाँ आप शोक में जाते हैं, तो वहाँ पर मुस्कुराकर और वो पूरा आपको स्कार्फ पहनाकर आपका वेलकम नहीं होता. But what we observe there, because what is this? This is the part of the conspiracy. ये षड्यंत्र का हिस्सा है. The षड्यंत्र which is going on in Northeast, and the political parties like Congress or the allied partners of the Congress in I.N.D.I.A, they are conspiring. They want to make Northeast unstable. Because they know it very well that since N.D.A government has come in the center and in the Northeast, development work is going amazingly. Sure.
But can you deny the fact that violence has been reported? Things did get out of hand over the last 3 months. The video that came out a couple of days ago, there was inaction in that case for over 70 days. Can you deny those facts?
No, we cannot deny. And this is the golden question asked by you for the Golden Triangle area. When government did not do anything because of which violence should erupt, then how and why violence erupted? So the answer is here only. There are powers who conspired. And those powers, they do not want stability in that area. But again, I will say that government in the center and government in the state, they have controlled the situation. I will not say that everything is 100% normal, but they have. The situation is getting towards the normal side, and very soon everything will be normalized. But
Sure.
the reality is, who doesn't want? Who want to go there? Who want to put more ghee in the agh?
Sure. So let me get in. Let me get in the
and
Congress.
just one more thing.
Sure, go
because,
ahead.
you know, I heard Sushmita ji. Sushmita ji. She is from TMC. All right. Earlier she was in Congress Party, and Congress Party is so much for the women empowerment and women security. Why did he switch over the side? And what her chief minister, who is Home Minister of West Bengal, is doing? When women in West Bengal are absolutely unsafe,
Sure.
insecure.
Sure, and that's a matter of debate on another day. We've debated those. We've spoken about crimes against women in every different state. We're talking about Manipur at this time, so I want to stick to that, and I want to get in the spokesperson of the Congress Party as well. Meeta Chakrabarti, if you heard what the BJP was saying, that this is all a part of conspiracy. The opposition members of parliament are there in Manipur to try and keep the pot boiling, even as the state and the centre are trying to ensure normalcy returns.
Good evening to all your viewers, and I think that is an extremely irresponsible and unfortunate statement coming from the spokesperson of the ruling party. I think she should be responsible, and if she really has any evidence to substantiate any of the claims, any of the bizarre, weird claims that she is making today on primetime television, then she should really approach the judiciary and the court. Number one. Number two, yes, the situation in Manipur is far from normal. They say that they have done an amazing job. What is the amazing job? A few hundred people have died in Manipur. Even as per the official records, about 150 people have died in Manipur. A few hundred people have been critically injured. Hundreds of homes and churches have been burned down. 60,000 people are living in relief camp. And yes, indeed, a very amazing performance by both the state government and by the central leadership. My first query, why has precedent rule not been imposed in the state of Manipur despite such unrest? My second question, if the CM of Manipur was unaware and he himself has gone on record and stated that hundreds of rapes have taken place and he was not aware of this incident and he only took cognizance of the matter after the video went viral, and only then the first arrest happened about 2 months later, then why is the CM still the chief minister of Manipur? It's a matter of shame. And just to deflect the blame and not take responsibility, because BJP is never known to take responsibility of a difficult situation. And because it affects the larger than life image of the prime minister, what did they decide to do? They are avoiding, they're deflecting, they're using whataboutery, and just to justify the kind of violence and the shamelessness that is going on in the state of Manipur.
Sure, it's a diversionary tactic. Sure, it's a diversionary tactic, Anila Singh, says the opposition, says the Congress. It's a diversionary tactic. We've all seen what's happening on ground there. The inaction in that one particular case of that viral video is there for everyone to see. The pertinent question being asked by the opposition, and what perhaps the people of Manipur are also asking, what about the policemen that allegedly handed over these victims to the mob? All of that is stated in the FIR. Has any action been initiated against those policemen by the state government?
Okay. Let me tell Miss Meeta Chakrabarti, the day West Bengal and Rajasthan will have president's rule, Manipur will also have president's rule. So don't try to dictate that whether Manipur. Okay, I did not. So you're no one to decide. You are no one to decide. Your political party has always conspired with this nation. Your leader doesn't consider India as a nation. Don't try to tell me, and let me tell you.
Meeta Chakrabarti, you had your time, you made your point. Let Anila Singh have a say. Anila Singh, I asked you one pertinent question that I asked you about this particular case and the inaction against the police as well.
I'm totally with you.
Yes,
totally
go
with
ahead.
you. Police failed there. Police totally failed there. Totally failed there. I am totally with you in this. I am not going to deny this fact. Because of the failure of the police, those two women, they were captured by the mob. They were paraded naked. This is obnoxious. Absolutely. I do not have any words to explain that how nauseous is this. And I am not going to say a word in favor of that police. They should get the hardest and the harshest punishment which they can, because they deserve it. But secondly, I would like to tell Meeta ji, when I use the word amazing, that was for the work which has been done, the development work which has been done in Northeast. Prime Minister himself has gone to Northeast more than 60 times. No other Prime Minister has ever done this thing. More than 600 times cabinet ministers have visited there. So let me tell you about the schemes also. So more than 1400 projects are they are already developed or they are under development. So n number of projects they are there in Northeast. So whether it is a road network or the air network or the railway network, everything is going with full thrust. That is the problem with the with all those who want Northeast to be to remain chopped off states from the
the development may have taken place. The state is not denying that either. The people of the state are not denying that development that they've witnessed in the state, Anila Singh. The question really is what has happened after that. 30 seconds, Meeta Chakrabarti, for your rebuttal. I need to get in Sanjay Srivastava as well.
So the Prime Minister of the nation has time to travel to the US, to France. He has time to address the joint parliamentary session in the United States, but he does not have time to face his own parliament. At the end of the day, the Prime Minister of this nation is accountable to the parliament of this nation. He's not above the parliament. When the parliament is in session, instead of making a statement in the parliament, he chooses to go out and speak for 38 seconds to the media. It's really, really unfortunate. He is supposed to be a very articulate man, is he not? If he's such an articulate man, why should he not come to the parliament and say how he is assessing the situation? What is the roadmap that he has in his mind? The situation in Manipur is far from normal. It is not about a law and order breakdown of a state. There has been a complete collapse of the state machinery and the central ruling machinery in that state. And the Prime Minister is to be made accountable for this.
Let me ask you this.
And it's high time that the Prime Minister come and shares his roadmap and his plan with the rest of the nation and especially with the parliament, with the elected
I understand that sentiment, Meeta Chakrabarti, but the central government has agreed for a discussion. They've said we will discuss it in parliament. The Home Minister himself has said, I will make a statement. The opposition insisting on Prime Minister Modi's statement. Let me finish my question. Let me finish my question, Meeta Chakrabarti. I want to ask you this. The opposition is insisting on the Prime Minister's statement, and that really hasn't led to anything. There has been no discussion on the issue at all. Wouldn't we rather at least make a beginning then?
Mr. Prime Minister had gone to state after state seeking vote on his name. Modi hai to mumkin hai. It's brand Modi. And it is now the brand Modi that is taking a beating. So when it is taking a beating, his larger than life image is being affected. He's scared to come and take responsibility. If he has time to go and seek vote on his name, then when things go sour, he should come up and own responsibility and address the issues as well.
Let me
have it only one thing.
Let me get in Sanjeev Srivastava as well. He's been patiently waiting on this debate.
Can I rebuttal? 5 seconds, just 5 seconds.
Yes, go ahead, Anila Singh.
All right. I just want to tell Meeta Chakrabarti ji, you are pestering that Prime Minister should have or should talk about Manipur in the Parliament. And we are not going to listen or we are not going to discuss with Honorable Home Minister whose subject is law and order. But you do not want, your party or the I.N.D.I.A allied partners, they do not want to have discussion or debate with Mr. Shah in the Parliament. This is what you're pestering. So let me tell you one thing here. Okay, so next time when you have some sort of problem in your stomach, do not go to gastroenterologist. You simply go to a doctor who treats the brain. That is neurologist or neurosurgeon or whoever, the psychiatrist. So you do not want to discuss with the minister, concerned minister.
So the concerned minister is ready to make a statement. Both sides seem to be agreeing on the fact that there needs to be a discussion. Sanjeev Srivastava, both sides want a discussion to happen on the floor of the House. They just are wanting to do it according to their own nitty-gritties under certain rules. But the issue at the larger picture here is that it is still the people of Manipur and the state of Manipur that's losing out, because after 2 weeks of the parliament being in session, after 1.5 weeks of the parliament being in session, we still haven't had any sort of discussion. That first step also hasn't been taken, irrespective of which side wants what.
You're absolutely right. See, there are a few quick points I'll make. I've been listening to both the ladies here, BJP and Congress spokespersons. See, Manipur situation is not defensive. It's indefensible. It's a very sad state of affairs, and there is no need to really elaborate on that. Number two, both the opposition and the government are somewhere playing politics with this. This is also true. The opposition could have accepted the Amit Shah statement, could have relented, but they are baying for blood. They have smelled blood. They have noticed the chink in the governing party's armor, and they are going for the jugular, trying to make the Prime Minister accountable and make him speak in the House. So it's more that bit is a political game. Who scores more points there in the House? But an opposition delegation visiting Manipur at this stage, I think it's very sad to just describe it as a photo op and trying to score brownie points. Everybody does. Remember during 26/11, even as Gujarat Chief Minister, Prime Minister Modi was there criticizing the government of India. So yes, there is politics, but nobody should criticize that also, that why are you there? And number three, I agree with Anila Singh on one thing, that since this government has come to power in 2014, there has been a lot of emphasis on Northeast. After Rajesh Pilot's stint as Internal Security Minister during Narasimha Rao's time, and earlier to that, Rajiv Gandhi, I think this is the first time in 25-30 years that Northeast has come into such focus. It's unfortunate that Manipur has happened. Then another point is that there is a difference of style. In UPA, government ministers used to resign at the drop of a hat. And that was perceived as weakness. For the Congress party and others, they thought it was being accountable to the people. So a lot of ministers resigned. Later, many of the charges even proved to be unsubstantiated. So that was their politics. This government politics is that whatever may happen, whether it's a UP minister, a person being run down, or Manipur or any other thing, nobody will resign, because that will be seen as an admission of wrongdoing and guilt. And so this government's approach is to brazen out things. So it's a completely different approach. And with all respects to the BJP spokesperson, Madam Anila Singh, I really think, yes, there is a problem in Rajasthan. I cannot speak for West Bengal. I am joining this debate from Jaipur. But it's unthinkable to compare Rajasthan and Manipur. No, just ask anybody in Rajasthan. It's fine to make a political point out of it, but to compare Rajasthan and Manipur, it's like worse than apple and oranges comparison.
And irrespective of the state, no crime is smaller than the other or no crime is bigger than the other. They all are equally important. They all should be treated equally importantly, irrespective of which state it comes from, irrespective of which party is in power there. But Sanjeev Srivastava, where do we go on from here on as far as at least the political narrative goes? We have a few more days left of the Parliament. We're not seeing any discussion on the floor of the House. There's very little legislative business that's being done as well. So it's a complete loss as far as the Parliament monsoon session goes, perhaps.
See, the Prime Minister is the undisputed leader of this country. He's the most popular man in this country, and that doesn't need a Sanjeev Srivastava or you or any of the other panelists to vouch for that fact. He's the #1 man in this country by a mile over others. He's the leader of the House. He's the Prime Minister of the country. He should really show a big heart or be a statesman-like person and take the lead, even if it's conceding ground politically.
Yes.
You know, that is the whole thing with this approach, which I find sometimes a matter of concern. Why can't he just make a statement? What? No heavens will fall. No, nothing really untoward will happen. It only raises already very high stature in his constituency amongst those people who support us. So that's the only way out of this impasse, because the opposition, yes, despite their concern, whatever they may be saying, they are also smelling a good opportunity here. And they are trying to milk the maximum out of Manipur. That's equally a truth.
So allegations there flying thick and fast between both sides. Unfortunately, very little is being spoken of on the floor of the House of the state, apart from sloganeering happening, apart from allegations being made against the BJP government and allegations flying back against the opposition. We really do hope that politicians, members of parliament across the board keep their ideologies aside and think about the larger picture, think about the state and come to a consensus as far as the discussion goes. I have to leave it at that. I thank you all for joining us here on this broadcast on CNN News 18.